Icing dates back to the 17th century, when early versions were poured over the cake before it was put back in the oven until it cooked to an ice-like glaze, which gave the classic cake topping its name. Hundreds of years later, modern varieties have truly conquered the cake world, no doubt sponging off this early sweet success. Today, even the most half-baked dessert ideas can be made presentable by applying ready-made icing sold in cans and tubes. So with a bit of time and effort, your cake needn't come to a sticky end. It takes a dozen different ingredients to make icing, beginning with vegetable oil shortening. Food colouring is added to a block of the shortening, which prevents it from becoming airborne, as a mixer creams the shortening with the icing's main ingredient, sugar, which is piped directly into the mixer's basin. Corn syrup is the next ingredient, which adds sweetness and liquidity to the mix. The mixer arm spirals around the basin for a few minutes to blend everything together before cornstarch is added, which acts as a thickening agent. Water is then added to the mixture, which is blended until smooth. If the icing's consistency is too thin, it can be thickened with more sugar. This 454 kilogram batch of icing is now ready for packaging, which is enough to fill 2,000 aluminium cans. A conveyor belt delivers the cans to fillers that inject 238 grams of the icing into each one. The system fills 3,600 cans every hour. Plastic nozzles now funnel into the machine and are pressed onto each one of the icing-filled cans. At the same time, a pump shoots air into a small hole in the bottom of the can to pressurize the icing so it can be pumped out when needed. The burst of air carries with it a tiny rubber cap, which plugs the hole to maintain the pressure. Next, the applicator tips are added to the cans. There are 4 different tips per can, held together by plastic connectors. The clusters of applicators land on the nozzles before clear caps are placed over them. Plastic sleeves then drop loosely over the cans. The cans travel past spinning plastic discs, which pull the sleeves down to the bottom of the can. The cans then enter a dryer, where the sleeves are heat shrunk around the cans, hermetically sealing the icing. Icing can also be prepared for packaging in tubes. The raw ingredients are the same, but by using different amounts and blending them in a different order, the icing can be given a thicker viscosity, which makes it more suitable for squeezing from tubes. When it comes to ready-made icing, it really is all about the packaging. A mechanized arm picks up each squeezy tube and delivers it to the filling machine. A vacuum pump sucks out the air and any contaminants before the tubes are correctly orientated for filling. Thick yellow icing is now injected into the tubes, leaving enough space for the open ends to be closed and sealed by heated metal jaws. Once closed, the tubes are ejected from the filling machine. Each one contains 120 grams of icing. To decorate a cake, the icing can now be squeezed from the bottom of the tube. While to apply icing from a pressurized can, you simply pump it out of the nozzle on the top, meaning that baking really should be a piece of cake.